Welcome back, trainers, and in this video we're going to be taking a look at Kommo-o in the Ultra League here. Now, it did get an update to its move pool, and that is going to be Brick Break. That is now going to guarantee the opponent's defense to drop, which is pretty significant considering there's a lot of Pokemon that do have Brick Break. Now, before this, you would probably want to run Close Combat, and then the standard moves that you would typically run, Dragon Tail and Dragon Claw here. But we are going to be testing out the Brick Break, of course, and see what we can do here. Now, hang tight. Towards the end is where I start kind of just throwing it and actually dropping my opponent's defense when they try to catch, making it a lot easier for the next Pokemon that I do throw in to take them out. We're going to be pairing it up with Shadow Feraligatr, with Shadow Claw, and Skeledirge. Found that this was a pretty good team here. I'm trying to throw this Feraligatr into a lot of different teams so you can have a few different ideas as to what you could potentially run with it. I've seen a lot of you making that pretty steep investment, so I'm trying to help you out here. So if you can give this video a thumbs up to help me out, that'd be much appreciated. All right, so let's see what we have going on here. I'm going to go ahead and go for the Dragon Claw. And we do have a Dragonite back there. Now, what I could have done there is went for Brick Break, which is obviously not very effective, and they're going to more than likely shield it up. It does cost more energy. We would have lowered the defense, but lowering the defense in this situation wouldn't really help me out because all we really need to do is land one move. We don't necessarily need to drop the defense in this particular situation here. So we're going to go ahead and let that go. We survive with 1 HP. Skeledirge has some pretty good PvP IVs, and I'm assuming that's why it survived that Dragon Claw. All right, so up against the Empoleon here, we're just going to throw the Dragon Claw. There is no need to get to that Brick Break because they're just about out, and we take that win. Let's keep it moving. Now, another thing about Hakmo here is, or should I say Kommo-o, Jangmo, they are going to be getting a shiny during the Go Fest for the Global, I do believe, and the shiny is absolutely amazing. So that's two pretty interesting dragons. I'm going to have to say that this one's a lot more useful than the Gumi line, but they did release their shinies, and they both will be getting a community day. When? Who knows, but it's definitely going to happen. Hakamo into, Kommo-o. Getting a community day move is actually going to be pretty significant. I do have 100, and I am investing in that, so all I need is a community day to get the rest of the candies. All right, let's pay attention here. We got a lot of energy on our Kommo-o, so we're going to go ahead and just start throwing the Dragon Claw. It's very specific when you want to throw Brick Break, okay? I could have lowered the defense and done more, but it's okay because we're going to be able to spam the hell out of this move here. So we're going to go ahead and shield up their Dragon Claw ourselves and go for another one here. And the IVs on this one as well are not great, but it doesn't really matter. It does what it needs to do. So we swap into the Skeledirge, and they do have the Ampharos in the back here. They're going to go for that super effective Brutal Swing as we do hit the Play Rough here. This should be just enough to take them out, or it would have been barely. But they do use their last shield. So we're going to go ahead and let this go here and bank on our Kommo-o. So we will shield this up. It's not very effective. Oh, Thunder Punch is not very effective either. But what we're doing is just going to farm them down, and then we'll have our charge move ready to go on this Charizard. And you know we're going to take that win. Let's get it. Okay. All right. This thing is pretty fun to use. It's been a while since I actually have used it, but might as well dust it off since it did get a move update here. Next game, we're met with an Empoleon. So they do resist the Dragon here, and they are going with that new move, which is doing neutral damage as opposed to not very effective Waterfall. And they do have Drill Peck, which is super effective to our fighting type. And then we are also extremely weak to Fairy, too, because of the Dragon as well as the fighting type. So 4 times there. All right, so I know, what am I doing? Why am I not going for? Because they keep freaking shielding up. So we're going to get their shields here. I'm like, what? Okay, so we double shielded as well. So I'm one to talk here. And they are going for that Hydro Cannon. I felt like I could have maybe farmed them down, but we're just going to go ahead and take them out to play it on the safe side here. And they are bringing in a Sylveon. This is looking great because we do have that Skeledirge. Their shields are down. This is going to do a lot of damage. And I don't think we're going to get to the charge move, unfortunately not, but that's okay. We're going to go ahead and bring in that Skeledirge here to farm them down. And we're going to come out of this with a lot of energy, or they're going to be bringing it in. The last Pokemon is going to be Charizard. We're going to throw the Shadow Ball here, swap into the Kommo-o, unfortunately, my timing was a little bit off. I probably should have waited until they threw. Now we just wasted all that damn energy, but it's okay because we are going to be able to get to the play rough or disarming voice. Not very effective, but still enough. And this Sylveon is simply not going to be able to do anything to us. Moonblast, yeah, that's a wrap there. And we take the win. All right, we will be leading with Kommo-o the entire time. Next game, we're met with a Greedent. This is going to be pretty good here. Let's see. All right, now we will go for the Brick Break in this situation right here. So this is going to lower the defense right out the gate. And we're just going to be doing that much more. Now, at this point, probably want to go for another one, but I don't know if they're going to be shielding or not. So we're just going to throw a Drying Claw to see what happens here. And of course, they're going to be spamming me with their Greedent spam body slam. And they do swap here to catch a Dragon Claw. Very nice. Now we're going to go ahead and bring in our Skeledirge here. Now, if they do not have Stone Edge, we are going to be able to absolutely destroy them. So we'll let it go, calling it. Yep, looks good. And they're backing out. That is a wrap. We take that win. Let's move on to the next game here, folks. What are we going to see with that? Kommo-o in the lead. An Obstagoon. Oh, yeah, you better believe this is freaking amazing here. So they're 4 times weak to fighting, bringing in another Pokemon weak to fighting. So we're going to go ahead and just swap into our Skeledirge, which is absolutely going to melt this thing alive. We're going to let this first Zap Cannon go and just put in the work. Just take them out here. It's no problem. We'll be able to outpace them to the next Shadow Ball and take this win here. Unless they do want to shield up. Highly doubt they do. If they bring in their Obstagoon, we resist the counter, so they're going to have to throw immediately unless they want to get hit by a Disarming Voice. So let's get it. All right, so we are in a pretty good position here. They do have a Cresselia in the back. We're going to be taking a lot of damage from their Moonblast. So we're going to go ahead and just lower their defense and bring in the Feraligatr so we can just tear it up. Now they backed out. The indicator was at the bottom. It just showed me the wins counter for the ticket. That's another way to know if they just backed out in the middle of the charge move there. Next game, we're going to be met with a Drapion. This is actually not bad at all. If they have Crunch and Aqua Tail, they're screwed because we resist both of those. So they're going to be going for a Crunch, yeah, probably. And retreating, we're going to go ahead and go for a Dragon Claw. What do they just bring into the battle here? Okay. Tentacruel sounds good. So we're going to go ahead and swap into the Feraligatr here. They can hit me with an Acid Spray and Scold. We are Shadow, so we're going to take a decent amount of damage from that not very effective Scold. And we're going to go for the Crunch here. They're going to be shielding it up. The Poison Jab is neutral, so we do have to look out for that. Acid Spray, calling it. And we make it to the Crunch. Perfect. If they use another shield, that would be incredible. All right, they let it go, which is kind of okay. They are down a shield, and now what's going to happen here is that's going to allow me to get one quick move worth of farm, and that can make a difference. All right, they're bringing in a Poliwrath. We do have to look out for that Ice Punch, which is going to be, well, I keep saying Ice Punch, but it's Icy Wind now. All right, so we swap after getting a shield there, bringing in the Skeledirge. We're going to go ahead and shield this up. They hit me with a Scold. They swap back into that Drapion. We're going to go for the Disarming Voice. Now, they are part dark, so it is going to be doing a decent amount of damage here. So we'll let it go. It is an Aqua Tail, but it's really not doing that much, and we do resist their quick move. It's really not something you rely on for damage, is it? So having one shield left, things are getting a little bit crazy. I decide to shield this up and farm them down. They have no more shields left, and that's a wrap. They back out. We're not even allowed to take out their Poliwrath. And we take that win next game with that Kommo-o and another Obstagoon. Look, folks, look, I'm going to tell you something. This is good for me. And I was getting a bunch of bad leads too, so don't worry. But it's just so crazy how you see the same thing. Oh, actually, it's not crazy. I don't know why I keep acting like it's such a mystery. Anyways, we're going to go ahead and go for that Brick Break. Doing some pretty good damage, plus you're getting stab out of that here. So we are going to be able to win this matchup. They are going to bring us pretty low, but winning the matchup is winning the matchup without using any shields. So we're going to go ahead and go for the Brick Break up against this Tapu Fini because, well, we're lowering the defense, and the Dragon Claw is not very effective either. And they're going to be swapping into a Virizion. So we're just going to do damage. I don't know, maybe we can get a shield here. Ice Beam! Okay, they don't shield it up. That's not good. But we're still looking all right. We'll let this Leaf Blade go. Oh, we're locked in. That's why. Okay. I was confused. All right, so we do have the Skeledirge in the back, and we are getting a shield out of them. Okay, so all they have is that Tapu Fin plus this. And since they hit me with Leaf Blade, I think it's safe to assume that they do not have Stone Edge, right? So we're going to farm them all the way down. Skeledirge completely shuts down Virizion if they don't have Stone Edge. They're bringing back that Tapu Fin. We're going to go ahead and go Disarming Voice to get that shield out of them. And we're still holding on to one shield ourselves. And the Kommo-o is in the back, but with very low health. So we kind of have to rely on the Skeledirge here. Getting to the Shadow Ball. And did we just use our last shield? I do believe we did. Oh no, we have one more left. Okay. Right, so we shield this up. We're going to hit Disarming Voice, and we resist the... Oh, okay. And Shadow Ball up against the Virizion, and we take that win with the Skeledirge. Absolutely amazing. Hasn't even received his Community Day yet. So when it does, Blast Burn, I've talked about it before, but I just don't think it's going to make it good. But I almost want to kind of just run the same moves, to be honest. All right, so remember the Scrafty here. This is an absolutely amazing lead, but they're going to be catching with their Talonflame. All right, so now that was a catch, but it's still benefiting me, okay, because we get the automatic defense drop every time. Perfect. So we bring in the Feraligatr. We're going to go ahead and let this go. Unfortunately, it is going to be a fly, but we do resist a quick move, so we can get to our next Hydro Cannon here, unless they want a double shield, and they want a double shield, and they're throwing their charge move. We're going to let it go. Absolutely. So we have 2 shields left, as well as a dragon and a fire type. So we're going to go ahead and just bring in the Kommo-o to farm them down here. Don't care what they do. What we're going to do is just use the shield, build up our energy, and we're going to be absolutely loaded. See if they want to bring into the battle here. And it is going to be that Scrafty. So we'll let this go. A foul play, I mean, it's resisted. Yeah, so no big deal. They may have just caught again. I do believe they did. Okay, Jellicent. Nice. Wow, that was a good one. But still, again, we lowered the defense. And what we're going to do is shield this up here. Get to the Shadow Ball. Hopefully this is going to be enough. I think they barely survive with a couple of inches or an inch. And they get to the... How annoying. That's okay, though. It's not going to get us down to red, and they still need to get to a charge move here. And we resist the counter, and this is 4 times affected to Scrafty, so we take the win. Let's keep it going here, folks. All right. Next game. Kommo-o into... I keep calling it Kommo-o. Kommo-o. Oh, we have a Guzzlord versus Kommo-o battle here. So I could have threw first, which probably a little bit of a mistake. But I wanted to get to the Brick Break. The one time I wanted to get to it, I screw myself over. So they're swapping, bringing in a Cresselia, lowering the defense, and this is another one of these matchups where Skeledirge is just going to shut them down, much like Virizion, unless they do have Future Sight, because Grass Knot and Moonblast, those are all resisted. So we're gonna just build up our energy, build up a whole hell of a lot, so we're ready to go for the next thing here. Guzzlord, beautiful. Gonna go ahead and just start throwing these Disarming Voices, because they're gonna be 4 times effective, getting the first shield out of them here. Unfortunately, a crunch is gonna be enough to KO. I am definitely not gonna use my last shield here. It's just not worth it. And they're immediately swapping, and they do have it in Annihilate. Now, as much as I wanted to go Brick Break, at this point, I think it's just going to be worth doing the damage. So we're going to go ahead and do that, swap into the Feraligatr here, and shield this up. Hopefully they go for the Shadow Ball. Great, using up all that energy. Yes, the Guzzlord does resist all of our moves, but with that low health, it's still going to not be able to just resist us completely here. I mean, yeah, take a look. Yes, they had 1 shield left, but they were pretty much screwed anyways. Next game, we're met with a Galvantula. We resist this in every way possible. That's why they're retreating and bringing in their Jellicent, and we do swap into our Feraligatr, getting to that crunch. This thing is so good. I'm so happy I have this thing. It's amazing. I'm not using it just to help everybody out and stuff. I am, but it's also pretty damn amazing. So unfortunately, not going to be able to outpace them. This is going to be a Surf. We will shield it up to win this matchup here. And we're just going to immediately throw this Hydro Cannon, more than likely getting a shield from this Galvantula. Perfect. So we're winning that matchup, and the shield situation is even. Bringing back our Kommo-o. Gosh, Kommo-o. Why? Because I'm using it from that other cup. That's why I'm just stuck saying that. And we're back to where we were. This is great. They are going to be going for lunge to lower our attack, but that doesn't really matter here. And they're swapping, and they do have a Mandibuzz. Now things are getting a little bit interesting and a lot more difficult for me at this point. So we will be letting that first one go here. And thank goodness that Skeledirge does have Disarming Voice because it's such a lifesaver going up against the Dark types, as you are going to be Ghost and taking a lot of damage from them. So it's just perfect. So we have that 1 shield left. I think what we're going to do is let it go and pull all of our hope now into the Kommo-o. It's still in the green. I mean, we're still looking great. No problem at all. Not really doing too much damage there, as Mandibuzz is a pretty tanky Pokemon. So I'm hoping I can farm them down, and unfortunately I don't. But what's going to happen is the Galvantula is not ready to throw a charge move. So we're going to throw this here. This will KO, and we take the win. 100 battles. Did you see that? Oh yeah, let's go. Next game, what do we have? a Galarian Stunfisk. Okay, this could work to our advantage here. Everything on the team doesn't mind seeing this, to be honest with you. Of course, the Skeletors will take super effective from both Rock Slide and Earthquake, but we're going to be dishing out the damage as well with our quick move too. So we will let this go. They shielded up the Brick Break here. Do believe, yep, they're going to be catching. They swap into a freaking Mandibuzz. So it's coming back for some revenge here. What I'm going to do is bring in the Feraligatr to kind of just keep spamming them with the Hydro Cannon. And since we did lower their defense, I do believe, right? We are going to be able to just do a lot more damage here. So 2 Hydro Cannons, simply shielding that up, outpacing them, still holding on to my shield. This Feraligatr is really putting in the work here. Just because the quick moves resisted doesn't mean a damn thing. And they're bringing in Virizion here. So if they do reveal that they have a Leaf Blade, okay, well, they don't have Stone Edge. I'm going to assume so yet again. So they're swapping into their Galarian Stunfisk. And it was at this moment that I realized, oh, shoot, I just screwed up. And I think I'm going to lose now. How am I going to pull this off? Seriously. So Rock Slide, here you go. That's how we survive with 1 HP. If they shield this up, that's it. That's a wrap. All we need to do is get to the Shadow Ball. We're done. That's it. Virizion, again, if it doesn't have Stone Edge, there's nothing it can do. I'll give them props. They do stay here, I do believe, until the end. So they do get points for that. Most people would be backing out at this point here. But folks, let's go. The Kommo-o with Brick Break's actually pretty good. So there is the showcase. Again, if you can give this video a thumbs up, that'd be much appreciated. And take care.
Hey! So you're finally here! Fantastic!